If you're poor and you want to build a farm, hey, there's hope. Stay tuned and I'll show you how I did it. Hey, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Hey, we're a little homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest, west-southwest of Crater Lake. It's a little tiny valley that we're tucked into, and it's pretty much protected by a lot of the adverse weather. So we got a lot of sheltering going on here. I couldn't have asked for a better piece of property to be able to find and purchase. As you can see, one of the features on my farm is this chicken coop. I built this chicken coop with a minimal amount of cash because you see all this material, or most all of this material, is repurposed, recycled, and it was given to me. Some of the material I did purchase, but I purchased it after the sale of some livestock. I took the money from the sale of the livestock and took it down and purchased the material. So the paint, screws, and some of the panels I purchased from the lumber yard. But out-of-pocket expense didn't cost me a thing. So I took my time and collected the materials and laid out the materials, and I let the amount and size of materials I had on hand dictate the shape and the size of the structure. And so this is what I ended up with, the Easy Clean Chicken Coop. Apparently this design was so successful it appeared in a magazine which went out all over the world, and now this chicken coop is world famous. I'm now seeing builders build this design and incorporate my features that I have in it and selling them all over the place. Hey, this well house was another feature I built out of all recycled and repurposed material. All the material was free, including the interior, which was Brazilian hardwood cherry flooring that a neighbor had given me when he pulled it out of his house. So I lined the inside of this with that, and it gives a nice R value for insulation, and my well doesn't freeze anymore in the winters, which is excellent. And any homesteader that's raising rabbits can get easily frustrated dealing with frozen water bottles throughout the winter. So what I did is I devised a little house to house the rabbits in to keep them warm from the inclement weather in the winter times up here in the high Cascades. And their water bottles don't freeze in here, which is so much of a relief. These rabbits were moved into this shed here in December of last year, so they've only been in here about 9 months. And of course it too was built out of repurposed and recycled material. The roof was given me. A lot of the framing material, the windows and doors, were all given to me. I purchased plywood and the sheeting around the outside and inside by raising rabbits and selling them on Craigslist and using that money to generate the revenue to which I purchased the material to buy it. So again, if you're poor, you can build yourself some buildings just by starting off with a couple rabbits. You only need to start off with 2. And then there's this funny little enclosure. Somebody had given me a bunch of sliding glass doors. He was a contractor. So there's a resource. Put your word out that you're looking for free material that you could resource, and contractors would be happy to give it to you. Otherwise they would have to pay to dump it at the landfill. And I ended up with thermal pane glass doors. I ended up with 5 sliding glass doors and a lot of thermal pane windows. So a lot of building materials, you know, just put the word out saying you're looking for stuff, and people are more than happy to get them off of their shoulders. And then also the free ads in Craigslist helps a lot too. Yet another resource for free items is, again, putting the word out. You need to network with friends and family and let them know you're in the market for free stuff if you need to clean up. So what I did is I had a friend that knew a friend whose husband died, and she needed to move, so they needed to clean up their whole estate. She invited me over to take whatever I needed just to get it off the estate so she could move, and I went over and ended up with 5 pickup loads of free stuff. And this canopy was one of them that I ended up building my duck enclosure with. And then there's my iconic barn. This is 12 by 12. Again, same as the chicken coop. This is the first building I built on the homestead before we even brought the house over. So it's building the barn and the chicken coop simultaneously from the material that was left behind, and also the material I had collected and stockpiled over at Acorn Acres. I brought it all down here, laid it out, and the amount of material I had dictated the size and shape of the barn. That's how I ended up with this size and this shape. An acquaintance had re-roofed one of their buildings and had given me all of this corrugated metal. And that's what I lined the outside walls of this barn with, and the roof. So this barn is pretty much protected from wildfires. It too is lined on the inside with Brazilian cherry hardwood flooring from my neighbor across the street. I thought, what better use for a flooring material than to put up on the walls and the ceiling, because if it's going to be in contact with like animal feces and stuff like that, it'd be easy to clean off and resilient, so it wouldn't destroy the wood inside. And of course there's the greenhouse. Again, a contractor friend had given me a bunch of thermal pane windows. And then one day I got an email from a casting office in Hollywood asking me to consider auditioning for a reality TV show for Discovery Channel, which I had never heard of before. I live in the wilderness. I have no TV signal out here, so I wouldn't know a movie star if I ran into him downtown, because I just don't have TV out here. But anyway, long story short, we did a program on reality TV called Homestead Rescue for Discovery Channel, and they came up and used my stockpile of windows and built this beautiful greenhouse, which I'm still harvesting food out of, that I planted back in January when we completed the project. So I hope this helps you and inspires you on how to put a farm together, even if you're poor. Just look for different resources. There's a vast amount of resources, and be patient. Please be patient. It takes time to collect the material. If you start collecting now, even if you don't have the space to build it, just collect the material, stockpile it, and then when you do find a spot to build it on, you have the material in hand and you can start your project. So regardless of your circumstances, rise above those circumstances like I have. And be creative, be patient, and look, you don't get if you don't ask for it. And those of us with disabilities, learn to stop focusing on your disabilities and focus on your abilities. Hey, I'm going to give you an empowering sentence. This is what empowered me from a workshop I took. And the sentence is simply this: if it is to be, it is up to me. There's 2 letters in each word, and it's a simple sentence, but it's most empowering. If you remember that, you can obtain your life's goals. You have to be fearless, you have to be brave, and you have to want it. So that's it on this episode of how to build a homestead or a farm in your outbuildings for free or dirt cheap. I hope I inspired you and helped you realize your potential. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, and you can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Google+. I'm also on LinkedIn and now on Blogger. And I'll see you guys in more videos. Bye-bye. And you guys always have to put your oars in every single video.